Hey guys, how y'all doing? Time to bring some focus to your favorite and not so favorite geeky films. Cam here, and welcome back to Cam in Focus. Before we get started, be sure to smack that subscribe button like it owes you money to stay up to date with geeky news and discussions. Geek News Now prides itself with being a reliable source of media news so that we don't keep getting hounded by clickbait. So hit that subscribe button and follow us on social media to join our family. And also, just as a reminder, go up your game with metallic dice games. Dice, dice bags, towers, and a lot more are available in their store, but you can score 10% off by using the code GNN at checkout. All your tabletop gaming needs can be found right there. I mean, just look at this. It's awesome! Head over to metallicdicegames.com to see what they have in store, and don't forget to use the code GNN at checkout for 10% off. Without further ado, let's get started. Luke Skywalker succumbing to the dark side in order to overpower his father, the Sith Lord Darth Vader, is, in my opinion, one of the most intense and emotionally powerful scenes in the entire original trilogy. Besides being visually stunning, with great visual representations of Luke's inner struggle, as well as just being balls-to-the-wall epic, it carries with it the culmination of a lot of character context. So I'm not here to talk about the epicness of the scene, even though I could. I'm here today to talk about why Luke briefly turning to the dark side was needed, and why it was something we as the audience had to see. So what is character context? Well, it's a term that I apply to the idea of taking in-universe actions and mindsets of characters and applying it in logical, real-world ways to their actions that take place after your point of reference in order to rationalize them. Generally, things like that are met with comments such as, "It's just a movie, bro. You're reading too deep into it." And to that I say, shun the naysayers. Everyone knows that geeky films are the most fun to break down in that way, since their characters often span many films and other forms of media. Stories are stories for a reason. Now moving on. Many of us as children have experienced instances in which our parents or guardians have told us to never do something or else bad things will happen. But we didn't quite understand why or what exactly those bad things were. Like, don't touch a hot iron, don't jump on the bed, things like that. It's only when we go against what we're told and experience the consequences of our actions that we realize what was so terrible about what everyone was trying to steer us away from in the first place. In a lot of ways, the dark side for Luke follows the same idea. In his brain, it represents a taboo of sorts. A state of being that he thinks he should easily be able to distinguish from the good side.
But how am I to know the good side from the bad?
You will know.
His view of the Force is so narrow and elementary that he doesn't understand that the dark side is, in many ways, a path more so than the destination. A path of wrong choices often made with the best intentions, like the choices of Anakin Skywalker that led to him becoming Darth Vader, for example. For Luke, the light and dark are just that, the light and the dark. Opposite sides of a spectrum that he hasn't been able to fully comprehend yet. He knew that the dark side was bad, but he didn't understand what it actually does to you. Long story short, it was important to Luke as a character to have experienced the power of the dark side by the end of Return of the Jedi. Luke, by this point, though displaying some darkish tendencies like choking Gamorreans or threatening Jabba with death if he doesn't do as he's told, has gone through most of the trilogy never truly failing. Hear me out. Yes, Luke acted impulsively and abandoned his training on Dagobah, which led to Vader beating Luke on Bespin. I'm not saying his character has never experienced defeat or made the wrong choices. However, in the instance of Luke and Vader on the Death Star, Luke consciously does what he knows is exactly the wrong thing to do. He allows his anger to throw him into a vicious, bloodlust-fueled frenzy. If you watch, almost every swing Luke takes, with the exception of a couple, are aimed right at Vader's head. Not his arms, legs, or torso, his head. This isn't Luke trying to end the fight for his or his father's sake. This is Luke basically saying, okay, gloves are off, I'm going to slaughter you. Similar to his father, Luke's fear of loss was the conduit through which the dark side was able to take root, not understanding that it was always inside him and that all it took was the right provocation to bring it out. And yes, I know that some of you don't like The Last Jedi, and I get it, really I do. However, I feel that it shouldn't be ignored that Luke's encounter with Ben Solo in the hut that became the catalyst for his transformation into Kylo Ren was also brought on by Luke's fear of loss. The fear that Ben would destroy everything he built and kill everyone he loved. I know that some people might chalk that up to simple character regression or bad writing or whatever, but as shown with Luke versus Vader, as well as Revenge of the Sith, the corrupting influence of the dark side leads one to do unspeakable things. As a wise man once said, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Once you start down the dark path, forever will it dominate your destiny.
The those words from Yoda are all the more true because it implies that the inner struggle with the dark side isn't just a one-and-done deal, it's a lifetime of hardship and doubt. And Anakin himself was born of the Force's response to the dark side, so it makes sense that those of Skywalker blood would naturally be more prone to it, I think.
The dark side is in our nature.
Luke was a hero that we rooted for, someone we wanted to see succeed in his endeavors. To see him allow himself to fall for the power, I'm sure made many people scream at their screens like when Luke stopped and looked down at his mechanical hand, seeing the path he was heading toward and already quite a ways along, only then did he understand the gravity of his actions, and by doing so, was able to finally consciously recognize the darkness within himself and turn his back on it. By experiencing that darkness, he was able to see the light again, and that is what makes Luke such a compelling character. We're looking at a man who, unlike his father, gets a taste of the power and refuses it, proving to the Emperor that he truly is, and always will be, a Jedi.
I'm a Jedi, like my father before me.
Well, that's all I got for you today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed my little dive into Luke's struggle with the dark side, and how it's affected his character. Now that I'm done with the original Star Wars trilogy, my next video is going to be another freestyle type video, kind of like the one that I did for Frodo, and then from there it's going to go right into the sequel trilogy, which I'm honestly really excited to talk about. And then after that, who knows? Only time will tell. This has been Cam in Focus, proud to be part of the Geek News Now network. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, links in the description below. Have a wonderful day, and may the Force be with you.